how's everybody? Hello people, how's it? Hello, am I audible here?
Listening, nothing.
So we're just going to have a bit more of a technical, can I say continuation from our last meeting about the smart lodging platform, just to go in a bit more detail what all the functions are, when they are used, just to understand at least from the, can I say from the technical side, how it would work, what are all the small features and things that are useful to clients and what they would be expecting when they start using the application. So um, from that, from the initial sign up that we started it from the last platform, here you would come into your smart lodge dashboard now, where you start to log in and now manage your actual um, or be it your lodge or your hotel, depending on what you do at your store. So I'll just log in with my demo credentials. Okay, so this is generally how our franchise dashboard will be looking at. This will show me across all my stores what all my different lodges, what is going on, what's the movement, what's the can I say the like what's happening just across all the lodges, just to give us a quick general overview. So at the moment I don't have any bookings or check-ins at the moment. But if I go into, I think one of my lodges has a customer that's actually checking in. Yeah. So here, when I go into my specific lodge, I can actually see there is people coming in today. So this Alex Sean is coming in today at room 12, and he actually came in some time back at um, at room 2 and he left. So this is how we are looking in terms of our initial dashboard. So this will show like who are all the customers currently checked in, who are the people who are coming in today, who are the people who are leaving today. So all that is there. We'll also be able to see like what we can also send out broadcasts to our checked-in guests, especially the people who are already checked in. Um, what the announcement say the kitchen closes in 30 minutes, that kind of stuff. So you'll be able to normally send your broadcast through here. So you find you've got your WhatsApp and your emails. So we're just not going to do that now because I don't have anyone checked in. But if I check in our Alex, okay, so then here now, when we check in as Alex, we specify, okay, he checked in this time. So if he's checking in right now, you just proceed there. Um, if he has any additional guests coming with him, say his girlfriend or whoever it is, you can add additional guests here. Though you just have to remember one thing. So with certain rooms, you'll find that you can only expect one guest at a time. Like this specific room 12, I set it to only allow one guest at a time. So what that means is if I try to now add an additional guest here, it's going to block me saying that you can't add any more guests. So I'm just going to check in for now with just Alex alone. Okay, so complete our check-in. It's just taking a bit of time, I presume, because it's making sure the room has everything that's supposed to be loaded on it. now it's checked in. So you can actually go into the, so in our dashboard now to show that we have a customer who's checked in and that's his current balance. So since he didn't have any bill on his room, he just has the same outstanding balance and we can just quickly open the billing for that specific, can I say, client, and we'll be able to see like a breakdown of his stay at the lodge. So here now, I'm sure you remember from the last presentation. This is where we went and now into detail of what all the different kinds of services that we can offer at your store. When a client wants to say add a specific service to their store, say they went at the bar and bought something and put it at the room tab, or maybe they want to do massage and put it on the room tab. This is where you basically manage that, at least from this specific platform. Obviously, there is from the lighting point of view where they can add additional services to their room. Say if they went and bought something at the bar and want to put it on the room tab, or they went and bought something at the restaurant and then want to put it on the room tab. So you do that from the point of view side. Here you normally specify like things like saying services that are maybe not provided at the bars and restaurants, like your massages, what else? You can, if there is additional amenities that you get, you have those specific services added here. So like say if I want to add a service here, here I can just set up my services. So under my services, I normally come to the under the setup tab, go to service items, and I can quickly select an item, say 1 hour hand massage, add it to my service list. So obviously it will just allow it to ask us to confirm the details. Once you do confirm, okay, it's added under my services there. So maybe another service would be, this would be maybe a full body massage. I would go and add that as well as a service. Maybe I'll just change the description to 1 hour body massage. Like that as well. Okay. So normally that's how you manage your services, and if you want to edit the prices and the things, that you do that from here. So this is where you do the services that you offer at the lodge, and then from there you can now go back to our bookings and um, add your services to that specific client if they're being requested. So far, is everyone following?
Yeah, yeah, but then what happens if is it the same way we are adding for the items and not services? Let's say somebody just wants a drink. Is it separate or it's also going to fall under the same service?
So normally with your item, you have it as you ring it up from say one to the point of itself. You understand? Because the item is not the service itself. Here, what you want is a service. If it's just like a drink, you go by the bar and then you just get your drink from there. In any case, you find that your items that you're going to get will be at the place like a bar, for example. So normally here we'll only see services.
Okay.
So I got the service here. So let's say I want to do a hand massage. Maybe it's for 1 hour service there. And now there are our other services. You see our 1 hour hand massage. Um, and it also increased our bill. Then here you can even send the link for payments to the client. Although it also gets sent to them via their WhatsApp. Here they can record that if they are making a payment, they can actually come here and record the payment on their tab, as well as you can have your communication with the client be on this same page for that booking. That you can come and have the guest messages with the client and you'll be able to communicate back and forth like, okay, if the client is requesting something and maybe for towels or for whatever reason they maybe found there was an issue, they will normally message from here and you will be able to reply to it. So you see, you find that I think it's about every 10 seconds, about it's going and checking if there's any messages that that client has sent. So when you have a message from the client, it will notify you within 5 to 10 seconds about. So I think we even see like here, it's busy loading the messages to check if there's any messages from clients. So that will be generally the, can I say, the experience with interacting with clients. When a guest is staying at at the lodge, whatever communication you have with that guest will be on that guest's profile. So this is essentially their billing profile, their service profile. So you'll find a lot of your functions will be here. Your payment, your link for seeing the client's live view will be here. So you can actually just copy this link and share it with the client. Let me just see if I can open it here. So see, so that we can have an idea of how it looks. So yeah, here you can actually give this link to the client, and from the client side, from their phone or whatever app, from their phone or even their laptop, I'm sure, they'll be able to see like, okay, these are all the things going on with at the lodge. So and here they can actually send messages to extend their stay, request um, for requesting any assistance, requesting room service. So every request that they send out here, right, is what actually comes up here in our messages. So let me actually just see if I can, let's say assistance, and I put my phone number. I do send a request, so it should normally come up here. So I just have to confirm on our side why that's not sending through. But normally that's what would come up here from the guest messages will show the all the requests that the client is coming is having. And then here you can send a message to the guest to say like the kitchen closes soon or your bill is due as it is showing now. So I'll say like that. I actually forgot to check who is the client. The phone number links to these notifications. I might be sending Chris these notifications. So it's just sending out the message. So you have sent out the message to the client now. So if I refresh here, so I just need to confirm. I think the email services are off at the moment. That's why the messages are not going through. But that's how. So generally, how you're expecting your messages to be going through is when the client sends a message, you will see it here. It will be kind of, it's similar to like a WhatsApp thread, how to show like the client has said this and with your reply and vice versa. And the same applies to this section where when the client sends out a message, um, the reply will show on their side, like again, generally like a chat thread. Um, let's see. The other thing that you have is if there is any stock that your lodge keeps in the fridges will be the mini fridge stock. Though at the moment we didn't set any mini fridge stock, so there won't be anything at the moment. But you'll find that if there is during if your they like higher end lodges normally have some complimentary drinks and things like that that they would be refilling at every booking. So then they would come here and basically restock their mini fridge if there is anything. If there is no stock like this, it will just basically remain empty as is. So then you have your services. And I think generally that is all when it comes to interacting with the client. There'll obviously be the recording of the payments here. When a client wants to come, maybe say pay some of their bill, they can come and pay their bill. So say if I want to pay 500, 500, and then I choose maybe swiping, then you come here and add a note, payment. So it will come, record the payment, and it's now busy updating the bill. Okay. So now, meaning here now it shows the payment due is from the 6,284, it's down to now 5,700. That will be our remaining bill. And they can even pay with Kazan, where you literally ask for the phone number and they'll be able to put in the account details and make that payment. So another section that will normally that the clients will normally be working with is what we call the room occupancy. So this is normally when someone phones in to check to ask like, okay, do you have any rooms available at the moment? If they just want to quickly check if they have rooms available right now. So we'll be able to see like, okay, no, room one at floor one is already taken. Same thing with room two. And here we also have another one that's taken at the moment. So we have room two is available. So someone will be able to come and check into that room. Um, it's just a general, it's just a general page to just be able to see a quick view of the occupancy status of our rooms at our lodge. So there isn't much info you'll be able to see here, just other than the rooms and what's the status of each room. Then you'll be able to see your arrivals and departures, which depending on the date, you'll be able to see like, okay, here Alex was coming in today um at well, okay, the initial check-in was at 02, but his actual check-in date was at 16, 17. I think my clock is just set a bit backwards, but it was actually 2017, I think. Yeah. So you'll find that this is the expected check-in date and this is the actual check-in date. And from there you'll be able to view it booking and it will basically take you back to that screen that we were at where we were seeing what happened with what was happening in that specific booking session. So I actually don't know whose number I've been sending things to. I think this is an actual client. So summary for Wednesday. So it will show like this is a summary for that day. So if you want to see what's the so I think Alex was checking in for a week, so you'd actually be able to see okay no, actually click today. So here you see like that day Alex will be departing at January 14th. So meaning Alex was expected to be departing that day. So your arrivals for that specific day would show up in this section, and the departures will show up in this second section here. And here you just see a general statistic of what's going to be happening on that day. The arrivals, the checked in, the checked out on that day. So checked in will be like the number of people who did check in that day, and checked out would be the number of people who checked out in that specific then from there we have our rooms. A so this is where we'll do our just our general room management. So this is where we'll be able to say if we want to add rooms, we'll add rooms here. Otherwise, we want to see what's the status of our current rooms, what are all the available, occupied, the rooms under cleaning and maintenance, you will find them here. So if say we made a new room available for booking, we'll come under new room and I would say room number 15 and I'll be able to identify what's the kind of room. So at the moment we only have one room type, which is room 1, and you specify what floor if you have floors and what's the capacity of that room. So the capacity of that room is normally determined by the room type. So specific room types you'll get when we go down now to specifying the room types, you'll be able to determine that okay, say the first floor rooms are only allowed to take 3 people at a time. The upper floors maybe can take more people because they are bigger rooms, so they can take maybe families of 3 or even more than that, and so on and so forth. So you'll be able to define based on the specific room type how many people are able to, what's the capacity of that room. So if you want to set up any additional amenities like Wi-Fi, minibar, air conditioning, so this will just be it's just a description that will show when that person is busy checking in for that room that what's the things that that room offers, what's the things that make what's the things that come with that specific room. Okay, so this room has got free Wi-Fi, we've got a TV, we've got air conditioning, and if there is a description of that room, say, okay, it is a big room with a, it's a big room with a king size bed, and there is maybe say 3 different types of sheets that the customer can use, you'll be able to specify those descriptions here. So I'll just leave that empty for now. Okay, add the room there. So there you see, you find okay, room 13 currently available, 800 quarter per night, and the capacity is 1. So our okay. Now the other thing we mentioned was the room types, which I'll show you how to now set that up in the next step here. So you find at the bottom of our menu there, you'll be able to see the types of room we have. So there is room 1, which okay, not the best description of the room, but you see this is where you'll be able to determine like what is your difference, like I said, the max occupancy, what are the amenities, what are um, what's the pricing on that kind of a room, all those things. So here I'll maybe say under, let's call it a, let's see, upstairs room or upstairs deluxe. Okay. So upstairs deluxe will be, something like that. So maybe deluxe room to be priced at 1,500, and our max occupancy now would be like 3, for example. So amenities, they always come with Wi-Fi. We have a TV, DSTV, so the difference between this amenities that's defined here and the one that we put on the specific room is these amenities here are expected from every one of our upstairs deluxe rooms. Must have Wi-Fi, must have a TV, must have DSTV, they must have air conditioning. Wow, there are additional say amenities that may go per room that they may need to specify separately. That's why you find that this one I've come and I've, I've put this info. Then maybe for a room, a upstairs relax room that I go and create, um, I'll go and put maybe additional info. Okay, so maybe the room comes with maybe 3 more fans because that specific room is closer, is facing the sun or something like that, and we have to put more things there. So this is why amenities will be defined both on the type and even on the room. So it's up to the client, obviously, whether they, depending on how they operate their business, if they have a specific standard they use for each one of their types of rooms, in which case they would come and just specify in the room types, or each room is different, maybe um, based on location. They're all floor one, but maybe it's different kinds, different amenities that come with the rooms because of the location of the room or where it is. So I'll just click our site there. Okay, cool. So we have our upstairs max, and this is what we have. Okay, so we can then from there go and create a room that's an upstairs deluxe. So maybe say room 14 is our upstairs deluxe, 2, and our capacity 3. Okay, if there is any additional details, in this case we'll just say there isn't any. Okay, there I went and created our upstairs deluxe. Now we can go and create it. So when a client comes in and we are quickly checking what's the rooms availability and occupancies, we'll now be able to see like, okay, cool. So this is the rooms that we have available. Um, we've got the room ones, which there is two available, and we have an upstairs deluxe that's also available as well. So, and we also have a calendar that allows us to see what's the specific, how the rooms are looking in terms of um, the, the availability. So there we've seen that, okay, so room one, that's a different opposite, but you find like on room one, this is how we are looking on these days. If there is a client, you'll see Alex here and Alex here and Alex here and Alex here. If there is no one, it's showing occupied, but it's actually show available. So this is how it would show, meaning that there is no one using those rooms that day and that week. And if you want, you can then go as far as checking the entire month, and to be able to see how the whole month is looking. So that's generally how the lodging system works. It's at least from the admin platform. So just note this could normally be the application used at normally you find it's installed on the reception computer. That's where the specific this application would be used. And obviously at each one of the bars we have the point of sale software, which I don't have installed at the moment. Let me just see if I can quickly download it. And then we can also show you from the point of sale side um, what's the what's the um, what's the setup look like from the point of sale app, from our lightning core system, how does it operate. So I'm just currently downloading it from a Google Drive because it's not yet available on the Microsoft Store. But obviously, both the lodging platform and as well as our POS are available on the Microsoft Store. So meaning the even installation is as easy as you just go on Microsoft to click the install button and you start using immediately. So meaning there's that thing of having to go on a specific place and download them, so it's not happening anymore. Both this application, obviously you will be able to access it from the app.lodge.co.zm, but it will also be as well available on the Microsoft Store. So meaning it's very easy to get our people set up. It actually depends on the customer. Would they prefer web-based? Would they prefer an app? It's either way up to them, but the flow of the application, the feel, the experience will be the same. Obviously, the POS, because we have to interact with the hardware and everything, it still requires us to have the the app installed from the Microsoft Office. It's no longer a web-based version, but the lodging platform can be web, can be on the desktop. So for whatever reason, I just can't seem to install the pause. So I think I feel it from here. You can just take it up from your laptop. How the point of sale side look, how to add the bill to the room, and also how to make a payment at the till.
Just before we cross over to Felix, are we able to go through all the tabs to understand? Because right now, I think we haven't seen the rooms reports, availability, room availability again. So I want to
No,
understand the
no. So
difference.
you just confusing one thing. So these are actually sections. So the only part that's a different one is the reports themselves. So the reports will show up like this, where you can see the occupancy report, and then in the occupancy reports, there's the weekly occupancy, monthly room utilization, and room type performance. The revenue report will show daily revenue, monthly, annual, payment summary, and outstanding. So these are just Excel. They actually export files, just depending on the time frame. So, so I'm not, I clearly don't have the permission to do that yet. So
Okay,
maybe I can
then
get permission for
then
that.
let's
Yeah.
what's on bookings? Sorry, again, I
So
just want to see.
under bookings is where you see like where our clients will check in and that section. Just where we can see all the bookings. So then from there you'll be able to open the list to that specific booking, or check it out, or even add the service. So like say if I want to do a booking list that we saw earlier.
Yeah, but
So this availability and the section is all here. The it was just but it's just tabs that you expand. So you find again like the reports. This is just like generated. I think it's Excel reports that will that it will go through your data and basically generate the report for that day. That you can be able to see like what happened in that week, what happened in that month, what's the room utilization looking like, what's the room type, performance. Again, here you get your revenue reports, your annual reports, your daily summaries, your monthly summaries, your payments, what's the outstanding payments looking like. Um, and these are just other useful reports that will be adding. So there is a benefit report, but there will be additional reports as they are requested, that we are able to at least generate a more useful platform in terms of seeing what's happening at the business. Okay. Is that okay by you? Is there any additional questions?
um, so from the back office, people are not able to book rooms or what? Because I haven't seen the aspect where somebody can get into a room, or is it on the same one where it's showing availability and somebody can click there and update the status? And
Yeah, yeah. So all the room management will happen from this platform. So meaning when they want to book a room, they will come in here and they will book the room. So actually here that guest request for room service was actually came up here. But yeah, so our all the room management will happen from here. So even in the back office itself, there will be a link that will be just open in this platform. You just purely open this platform that you can log in and start doing that. Just a link to open this platform.
okay.
Yeah. I find it extremely concerning that Dominic's the only one asking questions.
Me, I just want to hear stories when people are expected to sell because I'm the one asking, like I'm the one who's going to sell. So
Mambo,
I'm understanding everything.
Mambo, Dominic's understanding everything. Are you?
Yeah, yeah, I kind of went through it a bit. So, because even this customer that is here, I'm the one that created, I'm the one that was trying to do all those. Maneuvering, yeah, yeah. So I'm following.
Eddie,
Yeah, I equally went through it.
okay,
Just getting myself cozy to it, getting to know one or two things. So I think as I continuously practice, that's when I'm going to know where and where not I need help, and then I'll communicate that.
okay, all right, okay. So I think we just have to switch over to Felix because I don't know for whatever reason I'm not able to install the pause on my PC. I think it's just because it's a development PC. There's a lot of things competing. Felix, are you able to just do that first?
Yeah, sure. Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Okay, just sharing my screen now. Could you just kindly confirm me if everyone is able to see my screen?
I can't see anything yet.
I'm unable to see it.
No, we're not able to.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, I can see now.
Now I can
Okay.
see it. Yeah.
Okay. So on the point of sale, there's not really much, but say you've booked a room and you're checked in. You decide to get something from within the premises. Say this lodge has got a bar or a restaurant. Instead of actually paying the bill there, you can just add it to your room, and it will be charged upon checking out. Or you can choose to pay for the room on the pause. So basically, the functionality is just the same as just a normal cell, but except the charge is added to that particular room. So, for example, I want to get something from the bar or the restaurant, so I can easily just sell this thing to the person, then select room. So once that is done, you will see a list of rooms or other checked-in rooms, then select that room for that customer that is buying that. So once that is done, it will actually add that bill to a room. Okay, so there's a charge limit that is supposed to happen. Mark, did you set a charge limit?
I don't think I set any charge limit. So just to explain what you're talking about there, when you are busy checking in, there's actually a charge limit that you can set. So I didn't specify a charge limit, although it looks like I was supposed to when booking in. I don't know if any one of you saw it. As we were busy um, adding to the room, sorry, as we were busy taking the customer in, it was asking if there was a charge limit. I think it's the stuff that I didn't set any. Um,
Okay, so once that is done, that bill would be added to that customer, and upon checkout, um, so there's also another tab within the nav drawer called Smart Login. So once you're on this page, it is going to give you a list of all the rooms where you can search for a room, search for a customer, and all that. You can view a bill on that particular customer, how much they're supposed to pay, how much they've paid, how much is remaining, and actually can pay on that room. So we can just say pay bill, which will then choose a payment method that is in that store. So these are the payment methods. So once I select a payment method, it should be able to go through and mark that room as paid. So for this, it's going to like pay the whole bill. Yeah, so it means the person has received that, sorry, the cashier has received that payment. So once we refresh, we should get that that person has paid for that room.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
balance is
So yeah, so the balance is zero. Let me just switch to light mode. So it's even going to show you the payment method that was used and the amount that they paid at which particular day and time.
okay. Felix, just on the same booking, I've added a charge limit of about 10,000. So we can now also go and try and make a add a service to the
So
room so they can see how it looks.
okay.
So it's clearly just something else.
Uh, yeah, it's failing to verify.
So that specific section essentially works the same way that it does on the on the can I say the reception platform, the lodging platform here, where it will go and add that specific view to that customer's profile. The only difference is that it will also allow them to print out an invoice for that specific view that was attached to that one. So obviously it's just now that is unable to verify the charge limit, but yeah. So that's essentially how that works. If you go and add it, Felix can just stop sharing his screen. So it will go and add it to our charges here. Under our other billing summaries, you will see that specific invoice that he created with the items that were on it. So that's how you'll be able to see those charges once they are added to the bill. Okay, so oh yeah, you actually clear the balance. So you find here once you have actually cleared, um, you'll see that your balance is zero like that. So now from here, when the customer now finally wants to go, they can now check out. So you just need to save that. Check out well, okay, that's if you have any mini free stock. Otherwise, you just proceed to complete the checkout. And what this does now is it goes and generates an invoice for all the different services and bills that you've been attaching to your room this whole time. And it will go and create an actual smart invoice for it that you have now a proper invoice as well as to your bill. Then here in our room occupancy. So now since our customer is gone, it now sets it to a status of cleaning that meaning that the staff now have to go and clean up that room. So when your room is set to this, meaning that room is due for a cleaning, it must now go and they must go and prepare it before it's again made available for the next person to book it. So then we'll be able to update the status once that's done. So from cleaning, I think we can make it back to available. And once the cleaning is done, the room is set back to available. They can proceed and book another client for that room. So yeah, that's basically how our smart lodging platform works. All the different functions and setups that are there you will find from here. So they again, what's very important is they're able to specify what kinds of rooms they have, what are the services that they offer, if there is any additional services apart from spending the night, spending the hours there. You also have your specific services here. Um, you also be able to specify what are the guests that you have. So here, like Mambo said, we went and created this guest, and you can go and create more guests if there is any. Um, so you can, so whenever your guests are coming in, you can come go create it. Or even when booking the rooms, uh, a new booking, right? You can go there and create a new guest, which will allow you to quickly create a guest. As you are busy booking that client for that specific room, you can come quickly create the client, move on. You get what I mean? So this service budget limit is actually what I was talking about earlier when I said I didn't set it. So at the moment it's set to no limit, but um, you'll find that you can even set it to say 20,000, 40,000, 60,000, whatever is the budget amount you want to be working for that room. So that's just to explain a bit more, since we're doing a more technical analysis, this service budget, what this is say um, I book in a room for 500 kwacha, right? This basically allows us to determine like, okay, for this specific client, what kind of budget are we looking at? If it's like say teenagers that are coming to book the room, I obviously can't allow no limit on the room because now just find they can just keep adding services without having the money to pay for it. But say if it's other clients maybe want to enjoy the experience at the hotel, but they are saying, okay, but we are working on a specific budget. Can you adjust the budget for us here that when we are starting to exceed that budget, that the system doesn't allow it. And like that at least even helps even the client side be able to save money if there is a need to do so. Um, yeah, so that's what that service budget is. So I didn't actually explain it a bit earlier, so I just wanted to go through that again. Um, then yeah, so again here are all our rooms. Now that we have a few more rooms, this is generally how you would be looking like, and you even be able to search for rooms depending on the kinds of pricing, room number or type, what are the amenities, all that. We we can filter the rooms, and you can even set what kind of booking is happening. So see, there's any additional settings or corrections that oh okay. So now here you can so these three options okay. Generally with sales you normally won't be working with that, but there is something called your mini fridge. So this mini fridge is now again the inventory items um, that are again kept in the room, so you can come and add the items that to that room that you'll be able to that need can be restocked when they are used, that it can be counted and updated, all that. We've got our settings here that any lodge specific settings will come up here. So like what's your standard check-in times, what's the standard checkout times, what's the currency that you use at that lodge, what are the fees, what are the like all the fees like early check-ins, late checkouts, what's the default service budget. Um, there's actually something called two-factor authentication on new booking services. So this normally means that when you're busy booking, that it must send the customer an OTP before a service is charged to their room. So that's what that two-factor authentication is. What's your tourism levy percentages looking like? All those things you will find them all here in the settings. So it's different kinds of settings, a lot that are extremely geared towards how lodges work. And yeah, so you find like normally check-in is at 14 hours, checkout is at 11 hours. What's the early check-in fee? All this is here. So that's where you be able to preview it, and this is where you set up all that stuff for that specific store. And here we have our user profiles. So we've got our admin user who is demo@chrilan.com. That's the one that I used to log in. But obviously there is the additional user profiles that you can create depending on what you want, like who you want to be able to access this platform. So normally you find like a receptionist and stuff will be able to log in from here. Maybe to create their profiles here. So that's I think pretty much all those. Then there's our checklist, which is when doing inspections at the end of after checkout. So this is normally during the cleaning time that you normally have a checklist of things that you need to make sure of before that room can be set as okay, it's clean, ready for the next client. You have your inspection checklist here that you create your checklist and you start going through it. Okay, what's all the things that need to be checked before we are done? So yeah, that's pretty much our room platform. So this is everything that we at least um, in our initial version. What is that's everything that we have to offer in terms of um, our smart lodging platform. The platform that at least makes both the client experience at the lodge and um, the business experience much easier to at least interact with each other because we all know how that's been a bit of a struggle in the service industry in Zambia. So yeah, this platform at least helps now mitigate that and makes it much easier for both parties involved.
All right, Mikey, I think we are all clear.
So from there, is there anything that you want to add to it? Any because I presume there is specific, specific instructions and things, especially for the sales guys. What's the way forward to
No, no, nothing pretty much. Because for me, the only thing that are my concern are the thing where the pushing of the messages and
yeah,
also for it to be able to pick that limit. I think we should resolve that so that somebody doesn't run into that issue when they are having their day.
yeah,
Yeah, so once you fix those things, give us a go so that at least I know people when they are doing their demos, they're able to touch those functionalities without having hesitations, thinking it will give them an error. Now the customer will be doubting to say,
okay. So what we can even do is once those specific things are solved, we go and make a video on it just to show how it works, and that we can upload it to our YouTube, and we can
yeah,
even post it for the on the on our platform that we can do. We have that confirmation. Like, this is how it works. This is what you expect to get that
yeah, that,
like that. Everyone is aware. They
yeah, sure.
they don't they have that confidence in this is what I'm expecting from this video. Okay.
All right, Mikey. Thank you to you and your team, and I hope tomorrow we convene earlier for the other two. We can even do both at once because I'm assuming they're not as lengthy for
Oh
the cash and the shop. If
no
they're
no for cash
possible, if they're both.
specifically I do know it is a bit more involving than the shop platform, but yeah, as you have said, that's why I actually specified that both can be done at once. Because people
Yeah,
can
so,
the tax platform all the functionality that it allows. Obviously, the
yeah,
in terms of setup and preparation, it is a bit easier, but it's just in the what it allows the business to do, what are all the different notifications and WhatsApp that come from it. I think is what will be
okay,
a bit more. So the actual functionality and the application. But
okay.
no, I think yeah. So let's again continue tomorrow. There is more coming. Please subscribe, comment, and share.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, everybody, for taking part.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks. Thank you.